Ladies and gentlemen, heels and faces, casual wrestling fans, and all you smart marks. I'm Richie Moon,
And I'm Kayfabe AJ.
And I'm Kayfabe Focus.
and this is Kayfabe Avenue, man. We had a lot happen this strong, and man, we had WWE, TNA, and AEW all have events, man. But
All in one weekend.
let's
They're trying
all
to
in
make
one
sure they
weekend.
get it out the way before the 4th of July weekend coming up. They're
Right,
like, these people are not gonna be interested in any kind of wrestling with 100-degree weather on a 4th of
right,
July weekend. So let's get it all
right,
crunched in one. So
They
right,
gave
I
us
think we
a
should
whole work
start.
week of wrestling.
Yeah, they really did.
right.
But I think we should start on the where we left off, kind of with our last episode on kind of WWE and them playing it safe. So after Night of Champions, do you think they played it safe?
No, they gave it was a nice adrenaline. They really did. They needed a shot of adrenaline in their arm and really needed a little kick in the caboose. And I feel like with Sammy finally, and we call and
Oh
we and
shit!
just for the record, we call this before talking outside of this that it was just like if they didn't pull the trigger with Sami Zayn winning the WWE Championship, it might not ever happen. So, what do you got? What are your thoughts, feelings, observations from Sami Zayn finally winning the championship and pinning Cody Rhodes at that?
You want to start, or because
I
I
can
got a
start.
couple thoughts.
All right,
Uh,
so I can start.
I got.
I'm happy. I'm happy for Sammy. It's vindication, and it just goes to show hard work. You'll eventually get to the places where you're at, among other things. Um, Personally, I never like the character he portrayed on the main roster, other than the conspiracy theorist or the bloodline Sami Zayn.
Okay.
But that's neither here or there. Um, I feel like it was the right move at the time because um at the moment Cody Rhodes is basically like business as usual. If you keep the title on Cody Rhodes, that's safe
Yeah.
booking 101.
Safe. Right.
So, or if you had it to give it to Gunther, it still would have been safe booking 101. So, in order to give that in the WWE anything can happen feel, you kind of had to have Sammy win it. And now I'm waiting for Kevin Owens to come by and just take Sami Zayn's dream and just turn it into a nightmare.
They, they
Mm.
did show Kevin Owens on the NXT pay-per-view this Sunday backstage and actually interacting with what was happening over there. So that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Um, for me to backpack off of what Focus was saying, like it needed to happen. This will be what, the third time at Saudi Arabia in front of his people, and he was gonna lose a third time. So me personally, I was putting there's a category in my mind where it's like I'm starting to lose hope in these certain individuals. Sami Zayn
Mm.
is one of them. LA Knight, Finn Balor. Finn Balor
Yeah.
is one that I lashed out because as much as I love Finn Balor, that's why I lashed out so crazy because it's like, dude, like I no longer believe in this guy. Like I don't see it
Mhm.
happening anymore. And even if they build towards it, like I don't give a shit. And that was the temperament I had towards Sami Zayn and this run. And honestly, if we run it back, if I had a live feed of my reaction watching it, I was like, oh, he's not gonna win it. He's not gonna win it. You see, he's not gonna win it. What? Oh shit, he reversed that. What? He's gonna win? Nah, see, I told you. Oh shit, he just won that shit. So me doubting him after all this time made me enjoy the moment more.
Mhm.
Not giving, not giving credit that this was pulled off magnificently. Because honestly, this would have been better pulled off last year when he had the momentum, the people behind him, the underdog story. But it's like when you keep repeating the underdog story and you beat it to the ground. You're no longer underdog, dude. That's just you. So
Right.
while I enjoyed it, I love the fact that they proved me wrong because I really didn't. I wrote it off at this point.
Right.
So it did make me enjoy the moment a whole lot more. I'm happy for Sami Zayn. I'm glad it finally happened. But WWE has a way of making people feel like we're never gonna see it happen for these people. So that's what made the moment great. Um, as far as the Cody, what you said, is regular business. It's true. Cody needed to drop it. Enough
Yeah.
was enough with that path. Who else was he gonna challenge at this point? So
Yeah.
that was my take.
I agree. Yeah,
I
man.
mean, oh,
Sammy is my champion. I'm happy for Sammy. It was like I said, it was the adrenaline and shot, no pun intended, that WWE really needed. It needed that sense of unexpected. And see, Sammy, everybody was happy for him. There were people even across, that's not even in WWE. Mick Foley has something to say because Mick Foley is, the kind of a similar kind of character, that underdog, the B plus player characters. Mick
Yeah,
Foley, Kofi, Daniel Bryan. You know what I'm
we had
saying? They
Karrion
got hit with
Cross
the
on video, reacting happy for
right,
him.
right.
So it's a long time coming, and there's a lot
Mhm.
of people like the LA Knights and the
Yeah,
Finn Balor's that need that redemption. It's not just Sami Zayn. So not to say let's have a fucking redemption spree now. Let's give the title to everybody, but
right.
you know, there's times where the trigger needs to be pulled, bro. Even if it's for a month or two. The Attitude Era was special. Not to keep going back on nostalgia, but it was special because you could believe The Rock is gonna drop the title next week to a Triple
Right.
H, and a Triple H might drop the title next week to Stone Cold, and Stone Cold might drop it to Undertaker, and Undertaker might drop it to Mankind. Mankind might, so it was like so many spinning plates. We didn't have that, like, yo, this is never gonna fucking happen with this guy, and that
Right.
desperate fan shit. It doesn't feel
you know what it is?
good.
You
I
know what
don't.
it is? A
What's
lot
up?
of people they remember the Attitude Era, and they feel like all of these legends from those times had a lengthy title run when that was never the case.
It wasn't.
Sure, sure. Pay per
Rock,
view, pay per
if
view.
I remember correctly, most of Rock's reigns is the equivalent of like 6 to 7 months, and he's like a 6, 7 time champion or something like that.
Yeah, if you had like all together, yeah. Well, they weren't, they weren't long runs. They were not long runs, but overall, Night of Champions, it was a good event. I'm glad they didn't play it safe. Jay Uso and Obafemi, you know what I'm saying? Obafemi is the new king of the ring, the ruler.
We definitely got to give a shout out to both of the people in that match because going in, a lot of people complaining, oh, they're just gonna give it to Jay, counting out Jay, and complaining about Jay because there's automatically gonna be Brock Lesnar coming out, and that's
Interfering and all that.
interfering.
Yeah,
Didn't happen. It was a good
didn't happen.
match. Jay Uso was treated like a main event star against Obafemi. There's even a controversy right now that Obafemi might have tapped, so Jay is technically the rightful king of the ring. They did so many things right, no interference. So what we was talking about in our last episode is still holding true. The bloodline, yes, they're getting back together. Yes, they're becoming a dominant force again. But they're showing improvement. They're earning everything. One-on-ones. They're not running in for the tribal chief. They're not running in for Jimmy and Jay on these big moments. So it was more of that, and Jay kind of proved that he could hold himself in a high pressure situation. He didn't get squashed.
No,
By all
no,
means, he
he
didn't get
was
squashed,
crushed.
and they both look good. Oh, and people really didn't believe Oba was going to be king of the ring at the end of that.
I
I don't
mean,
understand
people thought
why
that
not.
there was going to be some people thought there was going to be some shenanigans. I wanted Oba to win because it's just the right move. You know, he has so much momentum. There's no point in stopping, and it's really cool because we just Raw just went off, and there was no Brock Lesnar interference. And tonight, not to skip, but it just connects with it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Brock Lesnar came out during the Oba Femi promo. There were some words. I think that was actually a good promo that Brock Lesnar did cut
Mm-hmm.
on Obafemi, hit him with a low blow, F5 them. Obafemi got on the mic after and said, you know, I want a one-on-one match at SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar accepted it and upped the ante and said it's going to be Hell in a Cell. So we're going to have Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar, the
And the Hell in a
trilogy
Cell.
in the
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell.
And I think they pulled it off perfectly because you have them open the show. What made Brock's promo good was that it was honest.
Yeah,
I don't cut promos well. That's why I got Paul Heyman. That it was funny.
right.
Good back and forth, good setup. They keep the question in the air now. When is Obafemi gonna pull the trigger? Because now it's not happening at SummerSlam. So now
Right.
we could let the champions get comfortable, give Sammy a couple months of a reign or a couple of weeks, whatever they decide is gonna be. A lot of people thought
Mhm.
Sammy was gonna be a transitional champion. That might not be the case now. You
I hope
know,
it's not.
so I
I hope
hope
it's
it's not.
not.
He deserves a couple of months at least in the reign. You know, it doesn't have to be extremely lengthy, but he deserves it, especially after all these years. So I think they
But at the
pulled that
same
off
time, you know,
because
if the storyline calls for it, like I don't want to say like a transitional champion, but you know, at this, I think about we have a wild CM Punk that's coming back. We have a wild Bronson Breed that's going to. We have people that's like that are coming back into
yeah,
into the fold. So you know, we'll see how the atmosphere looks around SummerSlam.
yeah. So as far as
Oh,
Night of
I was going to
Champions,
say, yeah,
Io
Io
Sky is the
Sky,
queen of the ring.
yeah, she's the queen.
We called that. We saw that as an automatic. It kind of
Hmm.
didn't make sense having Liv Morgan in the tournament, even though it was a good tournament.
Right.
But she had
I don't know.
Danhausen shenanigans involved in
She
that.
gave a good reason though on why she was in the tournament though.
Yeah, she wanted
Because
to be a double champion from both brands. So yeah, who wouldn't want that? It makes perfect
right,
sense. But
right.
yeah, Io Sky so congratulations to Io Sky. She's the queen of the ring. Jay Cargill had a good match against Tiffany Stratton for the championship. Uh,
My
Charlotte
only
Flair
issue with
interference.
I was gonna say it feels
Yeah.
like that was just a setup match to set up with Charlotte. I
Hmm.
feel like it was it feel like Tiffany, unfortunately, she's the champion, and I feel like she was kind of the third wheel in this match because the setup for Jade at Charlotte at SummerSlam, which is probably going to happen. I think more than likely going to happen.
But
So, but
honestly, I feel
other than
like
that,
Tiffany Stratton's kind of out of her moment. Like she's champion, but it didn't feel like the right time to make her the United States champion. Like
you know what it is,
she,
bro? With the United States champion, I think WWE, and maybe this is just me, they kind of condition us. If you're going to be United States champion, you need to do that open challenge. I think that just benefits whoever the champion is. If you're going to be
yeah,
United States champion, you have to do your open challenges, and it makes sense. And but I agree with you too with Tiffany Stratton. It feels like her time. It feels like not past her, not by any means, but it's just like
no, it just doesn't feel like this is her moment to be champion. Like she needs to find something new to do. The Tiffy time and her running the same catchphrase gimmick. It's she needs another spark in
mhm,
her just her story, not even her development because she's great. It's nothing about
yeah,
her personally. It's just what she's currently doing doesn't feel like a fit for her.
yeah. Yeah. No, you're right. Like something, maybe a manager, maybe. I mean, she does have Chelsea Green by her side, and Chelsea just makes everybody better.
Yeah,
I mean, I think Chelsea Green could probably be what she's because I agree with you. She needs something like another arc in her character. She needs some another layer, something because it's just kind of same old shit.
she kind of
So
like got thrown into something that was already actively happening in that division and kind of disrupted the flow of it. I feel.
right, agreed.
So what else we had? Well, the Sami Zayn match, which we actually said the result of. So that was Night of Champions. We had AEW that kept us up to 1,
Look at one.
1:30.
Look at one.
Just
One,
watching
bro.
that event. No
One, bro.
no fucking regrets. What are
What a
y'all? What are
choice,
y'all? What are y'all highlights of AEW? Because honestly, AEW stole the weekend for me.
It was the
man.
best show of the week, and I feel like you guys are right. Maybe the Forbidden Door thing is probably a little bit dated because now a lot of people are also saying that the Forbidden Door thing is dated.
I
And
was saying it the whole night. This is not Forbidden Door. This is AEW welcome, Matt. These brands are welcome.
I think
There's
you should
nothing
just. I think
forbidden.
it's a simple change of the name. It's just a simple change of the name. Change the name instead of
honestly,
Forbidden Door. New
so so
Japan versus CMML versus AEW.
so the thing is, I can see it both ways because I like pay-per-views that had themes,
Mhm.
like the Elimination Chamber has Elimination Chamber, and Forbidden Door will bring in stars from other promotions and this, that, and the third. I like the idea of it. It's just that the execution for the past 2 years been lacking.
The
And
thing is,
what can you
it's
do
But
about
what
it?
do you? What,
it's the
what was your?
presentation. What
Yeah,
were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, what was your favorite match? Because we can all. I think we can all agree the Forbidden Door theme, where it came from, it's outdated because where it originally started from.
They
New
just need
Japan and
to
AEW.
rebrand it.
It's
Just rebrand
rebranded.
it.
It's
It's like
needs
Wrestle
rebranding.
Dream.
Yeah,
Find another name akin to like a Wrestle Dream, and you save the pay
right.
per view. But also, the biggest issue with Forbidden Door is not necessarily the theme of having those brands collide; is the placement in the year. We're already going full head on into All In. This event was about the tournament to get to All In for the women and the men in the
Mhm.
Owens Hart Cup. So beyond winning the trophy and the temporary championship that comes with that tourney, you go straight to All In. So all storylines should be leading into All In, and I feel like Forbidden Door is just like a pit stop for no reason. It's a side quest that deviates from the main story for no reason. So while we did have the tournament that kept us on focus for All In, that's 2 matches out of 10 last night. Everything else was
So
like, how can we combine outside of the cage match, which we could get into? Everything else was geared to how can we combine these different promotions and have this random match together.
yeah, I think just a scheduling thing. That you maybe flip the once you do that, you have Forbidden Door happen in like May. Nah, because that's double or nothing. I don't know. I don't want to get into
So
logistics
so
for that.
so
I want to focus on
You can't.
Forbidden
The,
Door,
the
the
thing
actual
is, you
show.
can't get in the top of the year because they already do cross promotion
I
and send
know.
AEW stars to the New Year's
Wrestle Kingdom.
Right. It may be a
Wrestle
logistics thing,
Kingdom
but
and the New Year's episode.
I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on the
So
fucking pay per view because there was some banger ass matches. Go, my bad, focus. Go ahead.
so so
What was your
so
favorite matches?
so what? But before I say my favorite matches, I want to say if there's a company that could pull off doing two pay-per-views, heading into pay-per-views and having to pull storylines and stuff like that, it would be AEW because they've done it before
They do it
when
every
it
year.
came to when it when they
Yeah.
first, but specifically before they moved, I think all into I think July last year, there was like a week uh gap between All In and All Out, and
Mhm.
they
Yeah.
pulled off two banger of the shows.
Yeah, they did.
They did. They did.
So,
They did.
But
in a way, I feel like if it's not a good idea to probably have Forbidden Door, but if there's a company that could probably pull it off, it would be AEW because they've done so in the
it's
past.
because they just so focus on the pay per views. They focus so much on the quality of the match as far as action, nonstop fucking action. No pun to TNA, but like
Mhm.
they focus so much on the in ring and what the guys are actually doing, um, that it comes out as a great pay-per-view, no matter if the storyline's a week going in. It
That's
ends
true.
up being a
The
great
matches make
pay-per-view.
up for it.
I can complain all year round about the quality and content of a Dynamite or a Collision, but once that pay-per-view comes around every month, I'm locked in, and it's a great event.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say speaking of that, what I really liked about the main event with Will and Swerve was the storyline was super layered with their entrances with Bane and Lobo. Just the story of them as like because they're actual real life friends. The story of Will losing last year and then teaming up. And it just everything like culminated because there's a lot of time people say, oh yeah, AEW is like really good wrestling, but there's no stories. Bro, if you're not paying attention, bro, this shit is super layered if you're really paying attention, especially in that especially in that specific match. Like get to the end, he hits him with the house call and then injured neck that he had surgery from. He turns, that's it. Then he locks eyes with Moxley, who's training him. That's a whole other story. You know what I'm
So
saying? Like
you mentioned Moxley. You mentioned Moxley,
uh,
and that brings up my only issue with this event, and my only issue when it comes to the production of the actual match.
Mhm.
Bro, when you have that face-off moment, the crowd is going crazy. You hit that finish and you get that pin. Why did you extend the match another 2 to 3 minutes just to have Mox come out and will you to the next combination to finally end it? Like, y'all had that moment.
Right.
Learn when enough is enough and you've delivered. Like, the false finishes, I feel like knocked it down from the perfect classic it could have been. It's a great match.
Bro, too many
Bloody,
false finishes.
action packed, but the towards the end, it's like
It was
they're
too many.
taking
It
off
was
the
too many.
gloves, they're taking off the elbow pads, and it's like this is it. We're squaring up. They hit that segment, and then you prolong it another 3, 4 false finishes.
I
It's
think
too
they could have.
much,
Yeah, they could
especially
have cut
at
off.
1 in the morning. Especially
They
at
could have
one
cut
in
it
the
off.
morning, bro.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to Mox and them coming out because I do feel like it did add to the story because they didn't interfere. But it's just like it's the bringing the idea. This is not just a. This is Will's family. This is who he's with, and your family should motivate you and get you to that level. And that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? He's seen his family out there. He pushed through and be. But I agree with you. They could have definitely. It should have ended with the showdown. They could have cut down like the last 5 minutes of that match. There was, for my opinion, my taste, too many false finishes. Still a great match. Too many false finishes. Though. Too many, way
And
too many.
boy, was it a bloody ass
Oof.
match. Bloody as
Listen,
hell.
have Chris Nada blade you next time, Swerve, because bro, I think you bladed yourself a little bit too hard, my G's.
It was like pools
Jeez,
of blood. Literally pools of blood everywhere.
both of them were Crimson Mask.
I think another shout out we have to give, especially if we're talking presentation, that
Camera work.
cage was special. I've never
Ooh,
seen it
yes.
the way AEW pulled off, and that's one thing that I mentioned while we was watching. Like that cage just
Yes.
visually looks amazing, fits a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people. It's different than anything anyone else is doing. It
And
felt
it's safe.
like the
Still safe though.
TNA, and it's safe. It's not too crazy high like AEW's normal cage. It
Mm-hmm.
felt like they could do the dives and the spots, and we don't got to worry about them losing a life behind the move.
Right.
So
That's a
Unless
fact.
it's
kudos
exclusive.
to AEW, and honestly, I want to see more of that cage. It was
I
perfect
want
for
that.
a
I
group
want
match
that.
of its size. It was what, like a 6-on-6,
Yeah.
right? So it
That should
fit
be
the
7 on
the
6
regular
if
people.
you
cage.
really think about it.
That should be the regular cage.
Yeah,
7 on 6 if you really think about it.
You
yeah,
said 707. You really think about it?
yeah.
Oh
Because
yeah.
he knows.
You know.
So that match was also one of my favorite matches of the night. A lot of storylines going into that. A lot of people involved. Andrade finally pulling away from the Callis family. Um, finally making his mark that he wants to go against MJF, which is a good look. Maybe we'll get it at this new pay-per-view AEW's debuting next month.
I think it's going to
Before
happen in Mexico
All
City.
In.
I think it's going to happen in Mexico City.
Mexico City would
It'd
make
be
sense.
cool, but honestly, don't bring it back to Mexico and have Andrade lose.
I know, right?
I don't want you losing in front of your people. And this storyline has literally been dragging since 6 months back.
Right.
Like,
shout out to Andrade's shirt. He had the fucking MJF and Don Callis.
Andrade wrestled in 3 shirts, bro.
Yo,
3 shirts.
Bro, by the time he was started to take off this first shirt, you saw nothing but sweat.
But you know what's hilarious? It's hilarious because his gimmicks in his matches, he rips up his shirt, he rips up his pants. The one time you really should have ripped off your shirt, ripped off your pants, you didn't. Like,
he waited all the way to the end. It's true. It's true. So, any other standouts from AEW's pay-per-view that you felt? Because honestly, like I said, this stole the show. This was the best show of the week. Focus agreed. So, any other like standouts for you guys?
Yeah.
In like 2 years, Maya's probably gonna be main evented, I would think.
Hopefully.
I mean, because you know she's the what do you call it? The student of Athena, and you never know, Mercedes might give her some pointers and everything.
Athena.
So
you mentioned Athena, and I have to sigh heavy because you're featured in the pay-per-view after Monet wins the tournament. Monet going all in at Wembley. For what? What was the promo for? You're bigging up the person who beat you. No, who beat the person who beat you, and trying to show out like you're the shit. Yes, you're the forever champion in Ring of Honor.
But you always lose at AEW
you're
TV.
Losing all the fucking time.
Oh, you always lose at AEW TV.
My thing is that it's like if she's gonna big up Mercedes, why aren't they in the fucking tag team? Why aren't they facing Megan Bayne and Lena Cross?
I mean, Mercedes is doing other things right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
she's about to go to
like actually winning tournaments and getting world titles and stuff like that. But it's like, why would you book that promo unless they're becoming a tag team?
Well, we got to see where things play out. So, you know, think things might play out. But I'm glad y'all brought up that match. I think that was, honestly, I want to shout out to Mercedes Moné. I think a lot of people, you know, as a wrestler, whatever you do, you should say you're the best. I think Mercedes honestly has a big claim in saying that she's the best. When you really look at what she's done over the last 2 years across the world,
2 years,
championships,
let's not discredit her career. Her
career I know.
In WWE is Hall of Fame worthy enough, but she really stamped her career because the international reach. Regardless if we were down on the lack of title defenses for the amount of titles that she had and for the amount of time that she held all them belts, that's legacy. That's legendary. Like that many promotions trusted you. That's what I'm saying. That many. I mean, in the moment, we're like, "Come on, we want more from this," you know. But in hindsight, you got to give credit where credit is due. Like that many promotions decided that you were trustworthy to hold that belt down and bring notoriety to their brand. So that's something that I've never seen any woman do on the level that Mercedes has done it. So she has a giant argument to say that she's one of, if not the best in pro wrestling. Because the in ring, it matches.
Right. And I'm not trying to discredit her other career. I'm emphasizing these last 2 years, and the reason why I'm emphasizing these last 2 years is because when she was in WWE, she had to follow more of a script. You know what I'm saying? She had to play, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure she had her creative input, but you had to play ball. These last 2 years, she had an opportunity to do what she really wants to do. Like, this is what she's always wanted to do. So just shout out to her. I'm excited for her in Tekla. I'm very excited for her in Tekla. I'm a Tekla fan.
She's the most free woman in wrestling. I think everybody can agree on that.
Yeah, she's
She
killing it.
has the most freedom. She did the Ric Flair run because she wanted to. She did the Ric Flair
Right,
promotion run because she wanted to.
right.
You said you had a statement. I couldn't hear you. Got distorted a little bit. Focus.
I
What was
said,
your
I,
last?
I said, how many world titles you think she has under her belt throughout her whole career? Do you think that it's almost close to Charlotte's?
It's more than
She
Charlotte's.
surpassed Charlotte just in this 2 years. She got 13 world titles.
And then
Just
she was a WWE champion.
like
Then she was
That's
a
five,
right.
it
six
was a
times.
five that, and then it was like the red belt, then it was the blue belt. Like
She was
she
the
did, you
red
know, I
belt.
don't
She passed that Raw Women's Championship at least 5 times between
right.
her and Charlotte alone.
She's a legit like 18, 19 time world champion.
Plus the NXT run.
Forgot about the NXT shit. So she Mercedes
She
slash
easily
Sasha
got
is
like
like
20 world titles
is yeah, a
easily,
legit 20 time. Is legit.
and
I'm excited for
She has more prestige because at the end of the day, you can say a lot of those belts were WWE belts, but I got the territories, and that's something Charlotte has not done.
right.
I don't think she'll ever do it.
And more than
I don't
likely,
think so either.
and more than likely, after August, she'll have the AEW World Women's Champion. And I'm excited for that match. I'm a Tekla. I
Me
like
too.
Tekla. I like her in ring. I like her promos. I like her.
Who do you think is gonna turn face?
Mercedes.
None of them. I don't. I think the fans are just going to cheer Mercedes. It's going to be like a Roman situation. She's not going to change anything she's doing. The fans are just going to cheer her
I see that.
because Tekla's a bitch. And I mean that in the best way possible. I
I
mean that.
see
I
that.
don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
Yeah, no,
Tekla will
I
think
get
she's a bitch. Like,
it.
yeah, like I love Tekla. I fucks with Tekla, so yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so
excited for that match.
I
The
think.
Kenny Omega, in Zack Sabre Jr. match. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
anytime
that
you have,
was.
it was
I mean,
classic.
they've.
Classic.
It's not the first time they've locked horns, but it's always amazing when you see Zack Sabre Jr. do, especially when you got someone like a Kenny Omega that can do what he does. So great match. My only thing is like I need more development on Zack Sabre's and from the New Japan side. Like I want to see more development. We could get it to literally a 2-hour conversation about that, but
Mhm.
I think they need to hold up their end a little bit as far as
Video
both of them.
packages.
More packages from AEW's end, and they need to filter up more stars on New Japan's end as well to make these mean something if they're gonna keep this forbidden door format going.
Can I say something? Can I speak to that real quick? And this is what after they did the media scrum. And what I will say to their defense is Tony Khan did say he would like to have New Japan stars on AEW TV more. It's just a matter of logistics. He's because somebody from the crowd, the media, they asked him about that, and I'm glad he answered it. So like he specifically said he would like to have them on TV more. It's just a matter of logistics. They still have obligations in New Japan, just like other wrestlers. They have signing and other shit going
Well,
on. They have other things going
see,
on in Japan
they
and
said
stuff like
that in the
that. So
scrum. If they said that in the
uh-huh.
scrum, that goes to our point of the discussion we had yesterday. That's exactly what we was kind of alluding to. That it's
Mhm.
a bigger picture. There's a lot of factors
And the
that
plates.
is preventing the amount of immersion that we need between the two companies to make this shit mean something more than the original idea behind the brand. Like it's not
Mm-hmm.
forbidden anymore. It's a welcome mat. It just really is. But
It's
that took
rebranding.
nothing
I
away
think.
from
I
how
think
good the
New
pay per view
Japan.
was.
I think if that's the case, that if it's a matter of logistics, then New Japan needs to fix that ASAP.
Hmm.
I agree because AEW is the bigger show. You're going to get more eyes during June, May. Everything for these next 2 or 3 weeks, cut that off. You need to be in America. You need to be on AEW TV. And but with the reality that we're given, I do with the video packages. Do what you do everything you can. They should have been kind of shoving that shit down our throat with Zack Sabre Jr. video packages. This girl, whoever, everybody that's not on AEW TV regularly, they should have been just Just video
But
packages, video packages,
and
video
that's
packages.
why I can't harp on AEW's like involvement in that so much, because if you had the availability of these people, then you have more incentive. Like, oh, hey, look, this is this guy. Here's the package for this
Hmm.
guy who's currently coming out right now, and he's causing beef with this guy, whatever the fuck. Here's these people. You know,
Right.
why explain away a bunch of people that are not showing up regularly on TV? And that's New Japan's issue. They're not a traveling brand. They're at all.
Right.
When these
Right.
people are
Right.
traveling, they're traveling for other promotions. You're seeing them showcase in other indies. New Japan
Hmm.
needs to get out and travel more. They need to
They
become
do.
a true international brand and not rely on AEW, because AEW, whether it's in small increments, they are an internationally traveling brand. They're hitting Australia more. They're
Right.
hitting Wembley more consistent. You know, I'm
Right.
pretty sure that's going to open other markets pretty soon too. So
And you know what's
New
wild
Japan
about
has to
that?
match that.
You know what's
So
wild about that?
I
That's
think
how New Japan got over, by sending Okada out on excursion. And Okada became the wrestler he came back to New Japan and became a star. So it's wild that they're not traveling. My bad, Phil. Go ahead.
so so my thing is that um damn, I forgot. But I feel like when it comes to New Japan, it's not only New Japan's fault. Some of the blame on the decline of New Japan also has to go to the wrestling fans themselves, because we're not really giving them a chance after the Elite left, after Bullet Club Gold left, after who else, the Dogs left. Are we really actually giving New Japan a chance to so we could see their new stars? Or are we actually just relying on AEW to show them who's their new stars? By the time they're showing on AEW, it's already too late, because it's like we're having the match.
And that needs to kind of give credit to what I just kind of said, as far as New Japan has to match that energy that AEW puts out. Yeah, AEW could put out their vignettes for them, but the end of the day, we got to focus on AEW guys and AEW TV and time that we're giving and the advertisers. And New Japan's not paying for that. So, they need to match that energy. As far as the comment of the fans not giving New Japan a chance, I want to rebut that with the same thing that I told you guys yesterday in our offline discussion as far as TNA. In comparison, they're no longer hitting the algorithm. That is their fault, because what have they done that rang enough bells that was must see on New Japan programming, that was like, yo, this shit is all over the internet, we got to see this match, let's go back? Because when the Elite was there and they were New Japan / Ring of Honor talent, the algorithm was pumping these matches on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. These were must see. The Bullet Club segments, the gestures, the promos, they were easily visible online. TNA was hitting the algorithm with the cross promotion of WWE. Once that kind of died down a little bit, where's TNA in the algorithm outside of the Hardys?
That part.
Where MLW is more in the algorithm than the TNA is, and they barely produce content. So we have to also say, what are the brands doing to push the content and push the algorithm to get this content to the fans? Because the same way someone could say, yeah, I didn't watch Raw, but I did catch on YouTube Obafemi's promo with Brock Lesnar. That shit just popped up. Oh, I didn't watch AEW, but that shit with Leo Rush popped up and it got me more interested. Now I'm curious about Leo Rush, and now he's one of my favorite characters. That literally happened to me. I had no idea what Blackheart was. Algorithm pushed it to me because he's popping on AEW TV right now. And New Japan needs to learn the American way of promotion when you want to promote against and with American promotions. You can't say, We're Japan. We're gonna just sell out the Tokyo Dome every day, every week. We're just gonna sell out the Tokyo Dome instead of saying, let's go to Germany, let's go to Spain, let's go to America for 6 months. Let's do a tour in America. AEW can help prop us into these arenas. Why are they not doing that? So I think it's a mixture. It's a mixture. The fans should go out their way to see this content the way we do. We set up Sundays. We chill online. We watch the shows we miss. Focus or push some indies on us. We'll get interested for certain matches that hit the algorithm. But if you guys are not forcing the algorithm, you can't really blame the fans for being ignorant.
This is a really, because I agree with what you said.
There was certain time. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
This is just the what have you. Unfortunately, with the wrestling business, this is the what have you done for me lately business. So you got if you wanted to argue that John Cena was the greatest wrestler of all time, you can have a good argument. John Cena retired a couple of months ago. Nobody's talking about John Cena because it's a what have you done for me lately business, and unfortunately, New Japan hasn't really done much for us lately. And that's just the stone cold truth of it. And that's for any wrestler, promotion, anything across the board, not even just New Japan. This is a what have you done for me lately business, and they haven't done much for us lately.
I mean, they've done a little bit of things, but not to the extent where it's on Omega level. Because they have given Zack Sabre Jr. the world championship. And honestly, being a Zack Sabre Jr. fan, I should have tuned in to watch all of the.
I'm a Zack Sabre fan too. What happened to their collaborations? It seems like New Japan. I remember New Japan. I mean, I know they can't do it with TNA anymore, but I remember New Japan used to do their own collaborations a lot before. Now they just don't.
I think they still. I think
ownership. Is it because there's been a lot of
I was going to say that too. We have to give them a little bit of grace because of the changes in ownership, because that's who did they place Tanahashi into leadership, right?
Yeah.
So
he's the president, right?
It's someone who just retired. You're learning that role. The ownership of the company is completely different from when it actually was the hottest. So I will give it grace. I hope they learn the lessons of this forbidden door and make adjustments, definitely. But until they start matching the energy, I think they're gonna fall victim to people's ignorance because they're not hitting the algorithm the way they should.
Like honestly, like with Caleb, I feel like he's a good champion in New Japan. It's just that no fans care.
I don't think a lot of fans know who that is.
Fans don't even know who he is.
I don't want to speak for a lot of fans, but we're very much in the know of what's happening and the pulse of what's happening and the highs of the.
We got our ear to the streets.
We actually do go out to these indie promotions and watch the up-and-comers, and I can't tell you who that guy is. No disrespect, I really just can't, and I don't feel it's a knock on me because I didn't research who's the New Japan champion. It's just when have they put something out that sparked my interest to say I want to see the champion next match to let me know who the current champion is. It just hasn't happened.
And I thought that was gonna happen when they actually had the United Empire and Dynamite, but it didn't materialize. So we just get one appearance. We just get one appearance. Well, actually two. Was it like two appearances? It
was like Dynamite in the last year, like two.
And then it's like we're just gonna forget about the United Empire after that. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think
it's business reasons behind that, contractual.
Logistics.
Logistics.
Right.
Or like the NBA loves to harp on analytics.
Analytics. But yeah, I think we can all agree that the Forbidden Door show. I mean, AEW, man, they put on they don't miss with the pay-per-views. They do not miss
at all
with their pay-per-view. So this is just another classic AEW pay-per-view, and now we head into All In. So NXT had an event this weekend. I just want to shout out TNA because they had Sensei. They had Amazing Red out there. in the X Division match. He's going into the TNA Hall of Fame. Conan is going to the TNA Hall of Fame. I think there's
I
somebody
will
else.
say TNA needs to step up their content right now. That was one of the weakest X Division matches I've ever seen. What's the name of the match? It's the X match, right?
Ultimate X.
Ultimate
Those
X
Max.
match. That specifically, it was the weakest Ultimate X match I've seen. Like it, if we were worried about WWE playing it safe, TNA played it extra safe. Um, the ladder match with the Hardys, I felt like even that match, it felt like just a run of the mill ladder match. It didn't spark anything. The Hardys obviously winning the tag team titles. I always love to see the Hardys, but it's like, where is the next wave of TNA coming from? Where's the future
Yeah,
at? And that's what I want
right,
to know
right,
when I'm watching this
right.
content.
They went to
Sadly,
NXT.
they did go to
They did.
NXT, but they fall under the same issue as New Japan. Now where do you step up? Now where do you evolve? And now who do you push? And you
Right.
have to fix that issue. Tommy Dreamer just got let go from creative a few weeks ago, so let's give them
There's been a lot of
grace. Let's give them
There's
grace.
been a lot of stories with him. I don't even know how to segue from that. But so
Honestly, man, I he's I really like Tommy Dreamer,
Mhm.
but as a booker, I really can't get into any of his storylines. When Scott was booking TNA, it was
It
great.
was hot.
That
It
was
was
their best
rising.
era. Well, not their best era. That was their best recent era. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
You
great.
could
You
tell
know,
the
Scott,
difference
Scott
from you could tell the difference of TNA product from when they had him and from when they let him go. It was
Yes.
night and
Yes.
day. It was night and day.
I would actually like you said. It's ironic you said it. It will pop up on my algorithm. I would tune in. It doesn't pop up on my algorithm anymore.
It doesn't.
And you know
So
what's crazy? They just fired their social media manager too.
Yeah. You know. Hey, it
within
is
good
what it is.
reason. Within good reason. TNA
Right.
was flooding the wrestling algorithms like a WWE was at a certain point. I was seeing more TNA down on X feed than I was NXT.
Right.
It's not happening. But we could do this all day. I think that was a good recap for
Yeah.
the events. Go out and see that Forbidden Door if you didn't. Night of Champions was pretty good. Didn't play it safe. Happy for that. TNA, congrats to Amazing Red. Well deserved Hall of Fame induction is gonna happen at
Mhm.
Bound for Glory, which is their WrestleMania. So let's hope that turns out to be a good event. Hopefully we'll tune in and they, adjust so the storylines leading in will be really great. Any last thoughts before we
I
send this on?
said that my last thoughts was I really enjoyed Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns promo heading into their SummerSlam feud. They Seth Rollins just cut a really good promo talking about their past and how the OTC has done everything, main evented everything, probably go down as the greatest of all time. You've done it all except for beat me.
I'm actually
And
really glad you mentioned that. Not to
it was great.
cut off your thoughts,
No, I
but
mean, we were watching it together.
yeah,
Such good shit now. It
going
really
into
was.
that, I'm like, I don't think it's Seth's moment. Like, I'm kind of
He changed your mind real quick.
I'm getting the Cody feeling. Like, do we need Seth consistently in this moment? And you know what? Leading into SummerSlam, Roman needs an opponent. The way he broke down their history, it's like, dog, you actually have the best reasoning to go against the Tribal Chief. He's never beat you. It
Right,
makes absolute sense. And
right.
it made us feel in the moment too that, damn, this might actually be their last real opportunity for this caliber of a match, considering Seth's health, the past couple years, and
Ain't nobody getting younger.
the amount of talent Roman has lined up.
Right. Ain't nobody getting younger. That part too. I'm glad you brought that part up. It was kind of, in a lot of ways, you know, we've seen them come in and it's just not saying that they're going out, but it's just There's a lot more.
They know they're
There's
transitioning to the veterans. They know they're
the
transitioning to the old
veterans,
guys. Seth said
right?
it perfectly. The new generation is coming up, and
Right.
they're just as hungry as we
Hungry.
were when we came in through the Shield. And
Right.
this might be one of the final chances we have to do this. You want your
It's
legacy to
interesting,
look back and have the asterisk, you never beat me?
right? We're in that also. Just so, I know we're supposed to wind this down, but I also kind of look at Kenny Omega in that space where I think if he's probably going to win the AEW championship because this is probably it. Like that, to perform at this level, at this peak level that we expect Seth and Roman and Omega to perform at, this is the last couple of years of that. Like we're on it. Nobody's getting any younger, so it's an interesting time to be a wrestling fan from our perspective, watching all these guys come up and watching soon next couple of years
Well,
probably their career ride into the sunset.
this is why you don't give up on wrestling. Ironically, a couple months back we had an episode that was like, is wrestling mid right now? And I can honestly say right now, it's definitely not mid. A lot is going on. A lot of things
A
to look
lot.
forward to. New generation coming
Mm-hmm.
up. Seth Rollins wasn't lying. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
our guys, like you said, CM Punk. We got a wild CM Punk going on. So a lot of things to look forward
Right.
to over the next couple of weeks. We're only halfway into the year now. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what the second half has. So with that being said, follow us for the second half of this year on Kayfabe Avenue on all streaming platforms, wherever you find your podcast, on YouTube, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, everywhere. Go search us at Kayfabe Avenue. And mentioning Kenny Omega, goodbye and good night. Take us home.